As-salam alaikum. My name is Darius, and welcome back to the world that was. This week, I'm taking a look at another medieval Syrian recipe from the Kitab al Wuslah. This time, a simple spiced lamb kofta. Lamb was a staple meat for the Near and Middle East in the medieval period, but beef and chicken could also have been used. In any case, let's now take a look at the world that was. To begin with, go chop a whole head of coriander, or parsley, if coriander tastes like soap to you too. Do this by rolling it into a tight ball and chopping it roughly with a knife. Put this into a bowl for later. Then, place your lamb meat into a bowl. On top of this, put about a third of your chopped herb on top of the lamb, keeping the rest in the bowl for later. Then, on top of this, pour in your ground coriander, for a little bit of zest, your salt and pepper, for seasoning, and finally your ground cloves, as well as your ground cumin. Pre-ground spices work well, but they'll be slightly less fragrant than freshly ground ones. Finally, crush 2 cloves of garlic on top of all this. Peel the rest of the garlic cloves from the head and leave them be in a bowl for later. Knead all of this together for a couple of minutes using clean hands. Don't over-knead it or the texture of the koftas will be negatively affected. Mix it just enough so that you can see flecks of your herbs throughout the entire mixture. Take a small lump of it into your hands and roll it into a firm ball shape. Place your finished koftas back into the bowl. From 500 grams of lamb mince, you should be able to make about 12 koftas. Now, place a large pot over a high heat and pour a large amount of oil into it. I'm using olive oil here because it was used a lot in the Near East due to its climate. But really any oil would work well here. When the oil starts to shimmer, place your koftas into it. You may have to work in batches so you don't wind up crowding the cooking surface too much. Keep them moving around in the pot so the meat browns all over, but not cooked all the way through. We're going to finish off cooking these later. When they're done, remove them from the pot for a moment. Pour off some of the oil, keeping a few tablespoons left in the pot. Return your koftas and toss in your remaining herbs and whole garlic cloves. Pour in some water to all of this until it's just about covering the koftas. Bring this pot to a rolling boil for about 15 minutes. The original recipe doesn't explicitly state cooking times, but this should be more than enough time to cook them through. Remove the koftas when they're done cooking, but keep the remaining liquid in the pan. Keep boiling this until it reduces to a very thick sauce, which might take around 15 to 20 more minutes. Whenever it's thick and acts like cream, return your koftas to the sauce and stir them around so they're fully coated. Bring all of this up to temperature and serve up warm. The finished dish is deliciously fragrant and has a delightful herby taste to it. The leaves of the herbs you use in the koftas really adds a nice bite of flavour to each one. Although I used lamb mince here, as it was a staple food for the Near East in antiquity and today, chicken or beef mince can also be used. The original recipe was listed more like a methodology rather than a step-by-step process, which suggests that this was recorded for professional cooks rather than an instructional cookbook. A lot of this video thus relies on Charles Perry's translation and reconstruction of it, with a few adaptations here and there. For example, it's unknown exactly how this was served in the medieval period. I plated it up on a bed of rocket leaves because it looked quite nice, but this was probably served alongside flatbread or other dishes. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed this look at the world that was. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like on this video, or possibly even subscribing to my channel for some more ancient recipes.